Good afternoon, and also a warm welcome back to our fireside chat with Charles Cascarilla. It's a great pleasure, and also to see you back, Charles. Last time we talked in January 2020, I think it was in Paris, if I remember correctly, because that was before the pandemic, and so much has changed, not only in the market, in the crypto market, etc., also in the digital market, asset market, also. What happened to you and PAXOS? I would say this is one of the best kept secrets in the industry. What you and your company is doing, and the team is doing, from utility for stable coins to providing crypto services to PayPal and Revolut and other financial institutions, to the settlement project that you're doing with Credit Suisse, Nomura incident, T-0 settlement, T+0 settlement. So it's so many topics. And before we start, I want to ask the audience, because this is a fantastic opportunity to ask questions. So please feel free to submit questions, which I will share them with Charles. And before we start, if you do a quick introduction by yourself and PAXOS, that would be good to start. I think you're on mute.
Oh, great. Thank you. It's great to be here. And I think, we'd like to think we're the best kept secret in the crypto and blockchain space. We've certainly spent a long time building to get to this point. And the point being that you hit a mainstream adoption curve in the industry. And our viewpoint has been that that mainstream adoption curve is going to require an infrastructure provider, and a highly regulated one, because it'll allow companies to come into the space that want to move fast, that are large, that have a lot of different types of requirements, but don't necessarily want to build the infrastructure for themselves. And in the early adopter stage, that wasn't necessarily the case. A lot of firms built everything themselves, and we've seen that to date, and whether it was Coinbase or SoFi or Robinhood and Square. But now you're hitting a different place, and so we're really proud we power PayPal and Revolut as their crypto infrastructure, but we really look at ourselves as much broader than crypto. It's about taking assets generally and putting them onto a blockchain. And for us, we don't care if that's native crypto. Obviously, we're not putting them on the blockchain, but cash, commodities, private or public company shares, there should really be no end to what type of asset gets re-platformed onto a blockchain. And that's the whole point of PAXOS, is we can sit here as your infrastructure, provide that re-platforming. And why would you want to re-platform these assets? Because they can move faster, they can move more efficiently, it releases capital, it allows you to create new products, and it allows there to be more access. That's the promise of blockchain and crypto, and that's what we're trying to really unlock for our customers on an API-based turnkey solution that they come in and use, that's highly regulated and very reliable.
Charles, let's go through the three area of your businesses, because I think that's fascinating. Because last time we met, I was not aware of that. You are so actively, you're licensed, you're fully regulated also on the crypto side. So tell me, what was the magic story behind PayPal? Because PayPal is now in the US, and I think they're coming over also to Europe to providing crypto service that you can buy and sell crypto in your PayPal application. That means PayPal is the hybrid between the old world and the crypto world. And most, based on my experience, 30 years in the business, is these companies that are building the bridges will succeed. And I think the PayPal CEO is in an interview, he stated that for him this will become mainstream, and a 200 million business per month, I think. So help me, what's the magic formula to get to this business with PayPal, Revolut, and what's necessary to being accepted with a traditional player like a PayPal? No?
Well, there's a couple of components to this. The first is, you just had a change in where the industry was. And it really happened actually a lot faster than I would have imagined. In some ways, I thought it would come sooner, mainstream adoption. But then I also thought that it would be a little bit more linear. And it's really just gone, in some ways, like the price of Bitcoin as a proxy. Really, it has just gone very hyperbolic. And so it's gone, instead of going from ice to water to steam, it's gone right from ice to steam. just an unbelievable change in the industry adoption curve. We're seeing that even with Coinbase's IPO yesterday, which is a real huge success for the industry. And in the case of PayPal and Revolut, there you have major firms, and they need to move fast. They need a partner that can move fast. They also want someone that's highly regulated. And so we actually spent the last 6 or 7 years building a regulatory stack that allows us to very easily, on a regulated basis, power customers. And so in PayPal, they have a very ambitious roadmap. They put out a long press release about this. Dan Schulman, the CEO, has talked about this. They really believe in the power of crypto to change financial infrastructure, to change financial markets, and to change financial inclusion. And that's the whole point of PAXOS as well, which is we're here to be a custodian. We're here to allow you to be able to buy and sell crypto, to send and receive crypto, to be able to get a yield off your crypto. But not just crypto, any asset, because I think all assets are going to be replatformed in this very powerful way. And so for someone like PayPal, I'm sure they spend a lot of time looking at the industry. And I think probably the hallmark of PAXOS is that we asked for permission, not for forgiveness. So from the very beginning, we went out and got regulatory approvals. We were the first company in the United States to get a trust company that can operate in crypto and blockchain. That was May of 2015. Very proud about that. We were the first crypto and blockchain company to have a no action letter from the SEC. We have access to the Federal Reserve National Settlement System, which is industrial strength Fed wire. Only 16 firms in the country do. We could go on and on. We've done this in so many different ways, and that creates confidence. That creates oversight. Being trustworthy is not just about being regulated. It's also about the reliability and stability of your platform. We've built a platform that is maintaining 4 or 5 nines of uptime and reliability. Just those types of things are not easy to do, and they're not easy to find in our space. And I can tell you, when I look at our pipeline, this is easily the most exciting time for our industry. There is a complete change that's happening. I think there'll be many firms the size of PayPal that will be offering crypto products this year for their customers. Okay.
Can you give us a peek? Who else is in the pipeline?
They're exciting names. I think when they happen, we're all going to be really proud that crypto has taken another step forward. Obviously, PayPal has done something that's even more exciting because they were the first ones that was one of these big mainstream names. I think they're the 5th largest financial services firm in the world by market cap. Just unbelievable for them to take a leadership position like this.
And I think they're still growing. I think this will be one of the largest US banks soon, I would say. And moving on to the other business that you're very successful, that also not everybody is aware of, is the utility business for stablecoins. No, I saw a big announcement yesterday that Binance launched a security token that's pegged to the US dollar issued by PAXOS Trust Company. So exactly what you said, it's a regulated entity, PAXOS Trust Company. So tell us a little bit more about this stablecoin business that you're in.
Yeah, so the way we've approached creating infrastructure is we'll hold whatever asset you would like us to do, and we'll tokenize it. And so today we hold over $6.5 billion of deposits. By the way, that's up from $250 million at the beginning of 2020. So amazing shift here. And we've seen this across the industry. And we hold $6.5 billion of deposits. We hold those cash and we put them into a blockchain-based environment to move around. And we do it for a number of different partners. So we have our own coin, which is called a PAX stablecoin. We have a Binance stablecoin, which is called BUSD. Importantly, we're running this in the background. It has Binance's name on it. They're a great marketing partner. They've talked about this with us. But it's us providing the fact that the infrastructure that exists and the regulatory approvals that allow it to exist. These are regulated dollar tokens. They're the only ones that exist. So there are other digitized dollars, but we're the only one that is fully backed, fully audited, and has a primary regulator. And that follows the guidance that FATFA has put out and other regulators have put out. We're proud of that. And by the way, there's going to be a number of other firms that are going to use PAXOS to power their stablecoin infrastructure too. And I think, again, they're going to be larger mainstream names. And it's going to be really big moments in the stablecoin space because there's a clear advantage to putting dollars on a blockchain. It moves 24 hours, 7 days a week. It moves instantaneously. It moves anywhere in the world. It allows someone to be able to have access to dollars without having a bank account. That's financial inclusion.
Yeah, there is no counterpart risk at the end. Before I go to the next question, I want to ask again the audience to submit questions, because that's a unique opportunity to reach out here to Charles. But I think you bring up a very good point on the stablecoins at the end. If I move on to your third business, the whole settlement, same-day stock settlement that you did with Credit Suisse, Nomura instead with the T0 topic. At the end, you can tokenize a security, but if you want the delivery versus payment, DVS point of view, you want to do the same day, you need then also a stable coin or a central bank issued digital currency. And now with the PAXOS token being almost from a regulation point of view covered, I think that's a fantastic niche that you're in. Yeah, well,
I think it creates a lot of similar benefits to tokenizing a dollar, which is you can now have shares move in real time. That doesn't mean you necessarily want to settle in real time. You probably want to settle at the end of the day, or maybe in batches during the same day, or maybe you want to settle in T1. On our technology, it's a bit of a choose your own adventure here. We're not telling people when they need to settle, but the faster you settle, the more responsive you can be to your customers. And of course, that lowers the amount of capital that is being held. Today in the US, it's somewhere between 15 and, depending on volatility, $30 billion of capital that is trapped in guaranteeing trades because they settle in T2. And that means you have a too big to fail intermediary that is sitting there guaranteeing trades. This is a total anachronism. There's no reason why that should be necessary. We have all this information that moves in real time. Why are we getting information that's taking 2 days to move? Just because it's financial information. There's no reason it should take that long. And there's no reason that you should have the risk that builds up in the system as a result. And that's exclusionary. It prevents people from being able to offer products. And then on the settlement day, you got another $30 to $60 billion of liquidity that's tied up because you're not getting immediate DVP. And so that's a lot of capital that could be repurposed in other places. You have more trading, more liquidity, more products. And that's the whole point here at Paxos. Our goal is not to go and acquire the end customer. We're not trying to acquire crypto customers and institutions. We're trying to power the firms that are out there today that have those customers. We're what we think of ourselves as financial market infrastructure, core infrastructure, a regulated platform that anyone can build their business on, and which we create distribution through the partners that come in and use our platform. So now going back to the same day settlement, did you receive a call from Robinhood? I'm sorry, from who? Robinhood. Because you remember, because the biggest issue with Robinhood and GameStop was there was so much capital stuck at the DTCC. Exactly as you outlined, the liquidity was with the T+1 settlement, and then DTC asked for more capital. I would expect that somebody would call you. Well, look, we've definitely had conversations with Robinhood and others, and this is a business issue for everybody now. I think what was really clear is that there was no financial crisis, yet firms nearly failed because of the plumbing. That the plumbing could not handle the volume. Now, I think the plumbing of the system was set up in a really novel way 50 years ago. It solved the paper crisis. When they had to start shutting down the exchange because there was too much volume because people were moving paper around. The DTC came into existence. A lot of processes came into existence. That made sense. You were able to create liquidity. But you created liquidity by forfeiting a lot of the chain of title that having paper gave you. And I think that was a good trade-off. Today, there's now technology that can allow you to have liquidity, clear chain of title, and something that looks like much more reliable processes, end-of-day processes, investor protections. And you would fundamentally not have the GameStop issue if you were using modern technology today. If you were settling even T0 end of day, not real-time settlement, just T0 end of day, you would have not had these issues. And it's really a problem. If you're a retail broker, in many cases, 90% of your trades are cash trades. So why are you paying for there to be a guarantee? You have the cash for the trade. It's because the settlement takes so long. It doesn't need to exist this way. And frankly, nothing else works this way anymore. 20 years ago, this was novel and even a difficult problem that was being solved. But of course, as technology has evolved, the contradictions in the system are now outweighing the benefits of them. And you're at a point where this is a real anachronism. Why would you be settling in 2 days? It's really because we're still on mainframes from the 70s. These are COBOL mainframes that are powering the system. It's in many ways ludicrous.
Yeah, a few questions here from Mark Vidal, Inscale. Are you expanding into Asia and Europe?
Well, and in terms of a stock settlement, I think
no. In general, I think
in general. Well, I think over half. I think it's now over half our customers are outside the United States. So we have crypto products. They're global. Our stablecoin products are global. Our tokenized gold product is global. Stocks are a little bit different because they're so highly regulated. You have to work jurisdiction by jurisdiction. And so for us, that was logical to start in the U.S. But in general, we look at this and say this technology creates a global ability. It is cross-border. That's, in fact, some of the key benefits. You can interact with anybody in the world at any time. And you don't need to rely on an intermediary, and you don't have to have an account somewhere. That's very, very powerful.
Last question before we finish. So we talked about the great evolution and development that you and your company did over the last 12, 18 months. So give us, what do you think? The crypto market will continue? What's your prediction for the rest of the year?
I think we're going to be actually surprised. So many things have happened in the first 3 months of the year that were unpredictable, from Elon Musk buying Bitcoin to Coinbase IPO. Certainly, I'd like to think us being able to do T0 settlement was an important one as well. But I think there's a lot of things that we're going to see over the next 9 months, just based on what we know is going on that hasn't yet bubbled up and percolated into the public dialogue. There is a lot that's happening here. The space is moving so quickly. I've never seen anything that has this level of innovation. And as an infrastructure provider, we have a unique way of being able to see what's going on ahead of time, because we're helping to drive a lot of these partnerships and a lot of these new entrants coming in. Excellent,
Josh. I want to close with a statement from Dan Moorhead. Maybe you know him. He's the CEO of Pandera Capital, one of the largest VC funds in the blockchain and crypto space. And if you follow him, he put out there a prediction about the Bitcoin price over the last 18 months. And he was spot on. He predicted the 62 or 63,000 US dollar for this month. His prediction for 1st of August, which is good for your business, will be 115,000. So I think there's more to come. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a great discussion, and let's keep in touch. And over back to Laurent.